Hey, I should have the lyrics for the Beverly Hills show, Beverly Hillbillies, ready. I want to sing them. It's Tuesday, April the 4th, 2017, and let me tell you a little story about a man named Jed. Poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed. Then one day he was digging in the yard, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is, Texas tea. Yeah, and then they go on and tell you the whole story about how the Beverly Hillbillies made it, how they moved to Beverly Hills, and they didn't really change a whole lot. I mean, they talked about the concrete pond, and Granny was still cooking grits on open fire out in the... They had no idea how to use all of the gifts and talents and awesomeness that God had given them through this amazing wealth. And I think that we're like that too sometimes. We want to live in the poverty, live in the squelch, live in the diarrhea of poverty, because it's what we know. It's what we know. It's what we know. I think that's part of the problem with the guy that is not moving out of the Casa del Green. I mean, he just thinks that this is all he knows. I mean, it's literally all he knows. And we went on Saturday, my son and I went, and he was crying, and you're gonna get the internet. And I thought, how in the world does he even know that? I didn't even know I was going to get the internet until just a few days ago, and then I decided, well, I'll go ahead and I'll pick it up, and brought my son with me, who became a monk. He's not really a monk, but he shaved his head like a monk. It's just, I wanted to just do it one time. He's so brave. I could never do anything like that. I've never once shaved my head like, I mean bald, baby. I mean like Kojak. Who loves you, baby? Yeah, I could never. I want to just break down and cry. I mean, I've had such a set of days. Such a set of days. I mean, talk about a set of days. Talk about unbelievable. I mean, I'm talking unbelievable. Just crazy days. You know, started kind of on Friday with the electrical fire and all of that, and then then we continued on, and it's just. And God's grace, God's miraculous, supernatural favor and grace, unbelievable mercies and kindness, unbelievable mercies and kindness, unbelievable mercies and kindness, unbelievable mercies and kindness. I spent 7 hours with the DirecTV guy today because, unbeknownst to me, amongst all the other things that happened, the wires for the DirecTV were fried as well. Right underneath my bed sheets, they were fried. They were totally just toasted. I mean, grilled, molten lava. It was bad. And so the man rewired the entire house. None of the clients had to be replaced, but he rewired the entire house. It's just beyond description what was going on today. Yesterday was the internet. Yesterday was Disneyland. I've been taping the YouTube has been faithfully being recorded, but the written Devo, the tweets have been keeping up. The tweets and the YouTube have been keeping up, but the audio, the promo video, the written Devo, those three arms of the Devo Cinco, the Devo 5-pack, not happening. Just not happening. Because I am been so unbelievably busy. It's just, today it took literally the whole day to really just get through and get the Devo done. I mean, to get the DirecTV done. And of course, I need to watch him like a hawk. Hawk. I watch him like a hawk, not to be critical, but just to make sure that we're all on the same page, to have a conversation. For example, he said he was going to put a new dish in. So I went and looked at the dish. I said, well, I really would prefer not to have the dish where it is. And we had a little conversation. And then we got at the back, and he says, well, that's not even the dish we're going to use. That's an old dish that was abandoned years ago. And I thought, what? What is that dish sitting there for? So, he explained to me that somebody else had left it. Some other knucklehead had left the dish there, and it's not even going to be there anymore. I thought, oh, okay. Well, can you take it down? I'll take it down. So, and then he was going to put some wires. He was going to have some wires tacked down. I said, well, can we tack these wires down in a way that, that follows the lines of the house and it's not just everywhere? He said, sure. So, and then underneath the house, he wanted to do some work there, and we did that, and we just basically got everything in order. Everything was done according to what needed to be done. It was done appropriately. It was done neatly. And I said the man represented his family very, very well. And that's part of the burden and part of the responsibility and part of the blessing of being a believer in Jesus Christ, is that we have this gift of being able to share the good news of Jesus Christ through our testimony, through our good actions, through our works of service, through the neatness of our lives, through the miracle stories that we can tell. I mean, to get this DirecTV serviceman, he at the end he said that there's no 5G that will connect with the DirecTV. It just isn't going to work. I said, oh, okay. So that was good to know, because I had been trying to connect to it, and we just got the 5G. We found out we had 5G yesterday, which is good for speed with internet and all, but it's not good when it comes in terms of trying to hook up to the DirecTV, and there's a lot of nuances to it. I didn't know all that, so I was just like, trying to, and the wires tucked in, and so it took me the entire day. I've been here just kind of struggling, trying to get just out the door, onto my projects for the day. I have things that I needed to have done, and I'm trying to get to them. I'm trying to see them through. I've got to get some things done here. So I pray today that you and I would be able to not only just go through the day and just be present and just maneuver through the task and the duties that we have. Yesterday I was at Disneyland. We did our Devo from Disneyland, and that was exciting. The joy and the excitement and the blessing and the power of God that was seen through the family time together. We didn't get back till really, really, really late. I'm talking, we got back really super late, like maybe 12:30 or 1, and then of course the guy came first thing in the morning, and then it seemed like God has really, really blessed me as far as these little things they're going. We got the hen house pretty much moved over to the west side of the ranch house. All the electrical is all up to snuff, and it's grounded and all. I got some kind of a card in the mail that was a good news card, and I got that done. And I know I got to go do that today too. So that's the Lord just gave me a word of something else I have to do today. So that's another good thing. I've got to go take care of that right away. So, man, God's just blessing me here. It's amazing. I'm going to write that down right now so I don't forget. So, yeah, because it just dawned on me that there's one other really important thing I have to get done. It has to be done right away here. And so I'm going to go by the AAA department and find out what in the world happened to this, to the... Okay, I'll get that done. That'll be good. All right. So, yep. Every day, in every way, getting better and better, because the Lord is so good. The Lord is so good. The Lord is so good. How's God? How are you and God doing? Are you close to God? Are you close to Jesus? Do you listen to the Holy Spirit? Do you feel as though I had a family member that's been challenging me, and so we came up with an answer. We said, well, if we get frustrated, we're just going to walk away. Not walk away from the relationships, not walk away from the responsibilities, not walk away or give up on the relationship with the family, but if a person is saying things that are just making you hot under the collar, it fits in with what Pastor Dick Anderson told me years ago. He was the pastor at the Sierra Madre Congregational Church, and he said that be angry and sin not. Be angry but don't sin. And it was like, okay, I can do that. And it was really a cool word to hear that, because it kind of fits in. You go ahead and you just take a little break, take a little breather, take a little step back, and then what you do is you have time to process the information that the person has given you, and they have time to kind of process with the information you've given them, and then you come up with an answer that is not just a snippety snap arguing, I'm going to get you, you're going to get me, we're going to have a fight. Remember that song, I want to have a fight? Remember that? Is it like that? No. When you have a conversation, even if it's heated, you step away, you step back, you don't have to go on and get all bent out of shape. You just say, okay, all right, and then you come back. And it seemed to work pretty well today. I felt like the Lord blessed me, and I felt as though God smiled a little bit towards my family. And I know He's been up there cheering and carrying on big time in terms of just the practicalities of day to day. I mean, I'm just like amazingly stunned at how good God is, and how gracious God is, and how He's provided for my family. Just basic provisions and basic things. Right now, I'm getting a word of wisdom on how to get down to the Home Depot that I need to get to pick up a quick padlock, and then have that ready to go. And it's amazing. It's just amazing, because I just suddenly I understand where it is. I've been around here a long time, but I was off by a few blocks. I was kind of driving a little bit blind, just kind of driving by intuition. So we're going to wrap this up now. Today's word was story. And what's your story? God knows your story. God knows all of our story. Before we even begin, God knows the story. God doesn't have to tune in next week for the ending of the story. God knows the end before the beginning. He is the Alpha and the Omega. Revelation 22:11, I believe, has that in there. And if I'm not right on the scripture, you can write to me at 213-713-8954 or 8954green at att.net, on the Twitter at Mr. Bob at BobBob8954. And until next week, I just want to tell you I love you, and I want to tell you next week, tomorrow actually, I want to tell you that I love you, and God loves you, and we're going to make it. It's going to be okay. For those of you who have missed getting the daily Devo, it isn't for a lack of trying, believe me. I just simply been just flooded with life. I mean, life has just been, and I could make a choice and say, well, you're going to have to just go suck on an old egg, because I got to get my Devo done. Or I can be loving and kind and gentle and supportive and say, okay, I'm not going to get to the Devo today. I'm not going to be able to finish this. Thank you. I'm not going to be able to get this done. I'm going to have to just defer, and I'm going to have to trust. And so that's exactly what I've been doing, deferring and trusting and waiting on the Lord. And today we end up, we're all wrapped up here. Everything is good, and we're on our way. I'm going to get this locked for the Casa del Green to switch it out so that the last remaining camper at the Casa del Green will have his own individual lock, and then if anything happens to the Casa del Green, it'll be on his books, because he won't be able to say, well, there was other people that came and went. No, nobody's coming and going, just him. All right, love to see your thumbs up on the Devo. I'll talk to you tomorrow. It'll be the 5th of April, and we love you.